Shiva Sutra 29. Osho's Shiva Sutra 29. Devotion freeze. Devotion freeze. What do you mean by devotion? What do you mean by devotee? Devotion, devotee. You are a Ayyappa devotee. You are Siva devotee. Devotion means giving yourself. When you give yourself, you become free. Right, sir? Okay. Now, let us start. Dear friends, Shiva Sutras 29. What we are going to see is, all of you are here. There are two types of minds. What are the two types of minds? One is intellectually oriented mind. One is intellectually oriented mind, scientific oriented mind, logistic oriented mind. There is one other mind. What type of mind? It is heart oriented mind, emotional oriented mind. It is poetic oriented mind. Right? These two minds makes the persons into two different characters. So, two different personalities are there. What type of personality? One is scientific oriented, intellectual oriented, logistic oriented, scientific oriented. One is heart oriented, psychological oriented, poetic oriented, artistic oriented. These are the two type of people are there, right? In that whole society, you take it. These two type of people are poles apart. You cannot come closer. They are something different, he is something different. Very rarely you find intellectual oriented and poetic oriented in the same person. In the same person you find two type of persons. What type of person? He is a scientific person, also he is a heart oriented person. So, he has a split personality. What do you mean by split personality? Double personality. One personality highly scientific oriented, one other personality poetic oriented. You cannot find two mixed in the same person, only rarely you find a prime minister being a poet, a scientist being a writer. Very rarely you find. You can take an example, Winston Churchill. You can take an example, even of Tamil Nadu. You can take, some actors, Jayalalitha is a dancer and she was also a good administrator, isn't it? So, scientifically she is administrating very well, and also she is talented in artistic line, right? So, suppose the concepts are different, The scientific oriented is like solid and the poetic oriented is like liquid. Scientific oriented is grammar oriented, and this heart oriented person, they are something like liquid. So, here these techniques which we are going to see are for thinking and feeling type personalities, right? So, okay, now first tell me what type of personality are you? Are you intellectual oriented or heart oriented?
Heart oriented.
Are you sure? Then you must be getting low marks in your subjects. Heart oriented means something happens, your friend says something ill about you and you feel crying. Highly intellectual oriented is always not being very strict and adamant, and there are some personalities. Whatever happens, they won't cry. They are bold enough to face. They are not bothered about anything. They are scientific oriented.
Strong.
Very strong. See here, devotion towards something Who gets that feeling? Devotion means what? See, devotion means, have you ever loved somebody? Your girl, any boy? If you love, what happens? People say, fallen in love. What do they say? Fallen in love. What is the fallen in love? Mind, mentally you are fallen. Your mind is out. They criticize you. They say, this fellow, no other job, he became a slave. Whatever she says, whatever he says, this fellow not bothered about caste, no bothered about religion, no bothered about money. They are mentally mad. This is what the society says, isn't it? This is what society says. Here, in that love, what happens? This boy or a girl, or a man or a woman, he completely forgets about himself. 100% he forgets about himself. He sees everything in that girl or a boy. He completely, there is no ego inside them. There is no prison. So far he is surrounded with one prison. What? I am a this, I am that, I can do this, I am do that. When a girl or a boy or a woman or a man comes inside the prison, who is so attracted, she is attracted or he is attracted, what happens? The jail, prison goes off, they become free bird, they started flying in the sky. So, here, when you love towards somebody, that is true love. Love towards, love with sex, no problem. Here, body and body meeting together, so no problem. But mind and mind merging, then what happens? It is love. Body merging is no problem. That is, any animal can do. You can see dogs, cows, bulls, everything. Cows and everything is doing. All animals are doing. But man also can do. But when mind and mind mixes, what happens? What happens here? There is no ego. So they always, you see, lovers generally, they say, they ask them, are you happy? They are not, love is something very suffering oriented thing. When you love something, if it is body oriented, okay, mind and mind is mixing, so it is very difficult. Suffering is there, but still, they forget themselves. They are not bothered about others, not bothered about worries. Who is worried? Only when you think about your future, you are worried, isn't it? Tomorrow, what I have to do? For next 5 years, what I have to do? I should take care of my son, daughter. At the age of 50, 60, what I should do? Some people bothered about next life also. After death, what will happen? So they are mentally, what happens? They are worrying. But in love, in devotion, there is no worrying. The love can be towards whom? The love can be towards God, so-called God. He may be in the sky or may not be there. But love towards the sky, the God. And love towards a master, maybe Amitabh Bachchan or Hrithik Roshan or actress or someone, love towards them. Some people die also. Have you seen pouring kerosene and dying for their leader? And love may be towards a girl or a boy. That girl or a boy may be worth or worthless, but for him it is worth, right? So here, when love and devotion comes, what happens? You forget yourself. You are free. That is the reason why people go to Tirupati. People go to Sabarimala. People go to church. People go to various mosques. For just 1 minute to forget and remove their ego. They are in this like a slaves. When they go, close their eyes and pray to God, what happens? Their ego goes off. Devotion. When devotion comes, what happens? His ego goes. For that 1 minute and 1 second, they are going all the way to various hill stations. These are the heart-oriented persons, feeling-oriented persons I am talking. I am talking about feeling-oriented. For scientific-oriented fellow, what he will say? God. Can you prove God? He will ask. How can we prove God? If we can prove God, it is like a theorem, isn't it? Mathematics, geometry. When you can prove God, then there is no God. Only when it cannot be proven, you can have belief. When can you believe something? Only when it is not proven. When can you trust something? When something is not proven. So, the scientific mind always asks, can you prove? Can you prove this? Is always they will be logistic. They will be asking, what is the method? What is the system? They are not bothered about anything. They will ask how it happened, why it is happening, where it has happened. So, all the technicalities they would be asking, but heart oriented persons, they have only belief and trust. It does not mean that heart oriented persons are superior than intellectual oriented person. You know Krishna, Lord Krishna, you know Lord Krishna? Yeah. Who's Lord Krishna's wife's name?
Sita.
Stupid, stupid. Rama's wife is Sita. Krishna's wife is Radha. Radha, you are telling Sita. Rama's wife is Sita. Okay, Krishna's wife is Radha. Radha is in deep love with Krishna, because Krishna was there, he was living. After Krishna's death, nearly 500-400 years after that, one girl called Meera, you know Meera? She is in deeply love with Krishna, deeply love with Krishna. Krishna is dead nowhere, Krishna cannot be seen. She heard about Krishna, such a sweet person, loving person. She started loving Krishna. She will be talking to Krishna. Krishna won't be there. She will be imagining this is Krishna and she will be talking. So, Meera was so deeply in love with Krishna, where Krishna was not there. So, scientific person will be asking, how can you love somebody who is not there? See, she says, Meera says, no, Krishna is there, you see there. She will show a statue. She says, I am giving food to it. And we are dancing, we are talking. So, everybody will laugh at her, but she is not bothered. She is my husband, he is my lover, Meera is my lover, Krishna is my lover. So, Meera's love is strong or Radha's love is strong? Meera's love is strong, because Meera is loving somebody who is not there, but Radha loved somebody who is there. See, in devotion, heart oriented people, are lovers. When I always think about my girl, or if I am a girl, always think about the boy, I forget myself. Then always wherever I go, whether I go to beach or whether I go to theatre or whether I go to US or whether I go to UK, I always think about her. Suppose if I think about her, it is devotion. I don't have myself. My individuality has lost. I am not bothered about myself. I am dead. I am totally dead. Only she is living. So, here in love, he is ready to give life. Life means what? His life. Only if a person is ready to give his life, he can take care of her or him. Able to understand? Only when you are ready to give your life for your beloved, only then you can live with him. That is a true love and devotion. But suppose if I always think about me, I am not bothered about that girl or a boy, what happens? There is no devotion, there is no love. Is it true? See, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you know Ramakrishna Paramahamsa? Anybody? Who is he? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Anybody who knows him? You know Vivekananda, you know? Vivekananda, do you know? Vivekananda is a saint. He died at the young age. He is a Hindu saint. Vivekananda's guru is called, dear friends, I am sure everybody knows Vivekananda. Yes, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is this guru, isn't it? Everybody knows it. He was in Calcutta. So, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, as I have told you, for whatever he wants to do, he will get his permission from Kali. Kali is what? A statue. He used to have that idol, he used to pray to the idol. So, whatever he does, whatever food he makes, first he goes and gives that food to Kali, and after that he does the work, right. So, anything and everything, it is Kali. So, one day as a priest, He was appointed in the temple called Dakshineshwara temple. So when he went to Dakshineshwara temple, see the devotion. The topic here is devotion makes you free. You are able to forget your ego. Here, when he goes to Dakshineshwara temple, he was appointed as a priest. What happens? What does he do? Daily morning, what you have to do? You have to offer flowers to God, isn't it? The idol. So what he does? He takes the flower, he smells the flower. After that, he gives to idol. And the food. Daily morning, you see, all the priests, what they do? They offer the food to God. That is in Hindu way of life, it is a offering. So after that only everybody will taste the food. So what he does is, he tastes the food first. After that he gives the offering to God. So it is against the ethics of the priesthood. Priest shouldn't do like that. Then they asked him, why have you done like this? And he says, see, my mother, whenever she prepares food, she tastes the food. After that she gives to me. She is my mother, Kali. So whenever I prepare the food, I have to taste and see whether it is nice or bad, or wrong or good, whether it is good for health or bad. After tasting only I am offering the good. This is my way of life. So this is against the ritual. They sent him off. Then he came. Then in a Muslim, they asked him, a Muslim man asked him, okay, can you tell, then he said, what? In the temple, what happened? The scene once again. In the temple he told, see, I have my Kali statue over there in my home. God is everywhere. If I am not able to offer the food over here, let me go to my own place and let me offer the food to God. He told, God is everywhere. A Muslim man hearing this, he said, okay, when you are telling God is everywhere, your Kali is everywhere, why don't you come to our mosque and work there? He told, okay, I am ready to work in the mosque. He went there. 6 months he was working in the mosque. Working in the mosque means what? Doing the priesthood only. In the mosque. In a Muslim mosque. Mosque is Muslims, isn't it? So there he was telling, see, God is everywhere. I can see, even here I can see Kali. So that was his devotion. Here devotion, what happens? Your devotion, what happens? You forget yourself. That is the reason everybody are going to temple, doing all type of rituals, doing all type of celebration and functions, so that at least for 1 hour, at least for 1 day, at least for 5 days, at least for 10 days, let me forget myself. So the greatest bondage for all human being is what? It is the ego. It is the artificially made ego. So to forget that ego, he goes in for all type of rituals and functions to forget himself. Either it may be so-called God, whether he lives in sky or not, God knows, or God knows, nobody knows. It may be some master, maybe one Ramakrishna, Paramsa, one Jesus Christ, or one Krishna, maybe some master. Or it may be, third, a girl or a boy or a man or a woman. That girl may be worthless for somebody. That girl may be like a god for this lover. That's what lovers, when they are in love, they tell their beloved as God, goddess. Husband says to wife, my goddess, my princess. Heart, my life. The wife says to husband, like that. He is my God, he is my greatest. So only in love, what you find, the first love which you have experienced in your life. What is the first love which you have experienced in your life? The love which your mother has given you, isn't it? When your brain cell starts functioning, maybe 1 month or 2 months, you can hear the sweet words from your mother. What does the mother say? My sweetheart, my darling, my honey, my milk, my sugar. She kisses in the cheek. The child's first experience is with the mother. As the child grows into a boy or a girl, when all type of the body is fit for, for finding out a partner, the maturity comes in the body. If he is a heart oriented person, people try to program his mind into intellectual oriented, sending him to schools and colleges, learning mathematics, learning computers, learning physics, chemistry, trying him, pushing him to get the top in the class, forcing him, you have to earn this money, that money, so that they want to suppress this love feeling. You should have an ego. They are intellectual oriented person. If they are so much attracted towards that, logics, facts and figures, they are not bothered about heart oriented, the poetic oriented, the psychological oriented, the emotional oriented. But the person, as he grows up, he crosses all the barriers, all the society what it gives. Suppose he falls in love with a girl, or a girl falls in love with a boy. It may come at the age of 14 or 25 or 35. Nowadays in this modern world, people have forgotten to love. They don't know what is love. They don't know how to love. What is love? They don't know. Here, when he starts loving, what happens? He forgets himself first. Everything is she, or everything is he. He or she becomes center for this beloved lover. The beloved becomes the center. He is in the periphery, circumference. He forgets himself and he thinks only about her, because already he is dead. She is the life. He is dead. So when you are dead, you have forgotten your ego. Your ego is gone. Once your ego is gone, you become free bird, because everything is in somebody else. You have given everything, and she gives everything to him. And if it goes on in a mutual way, happiness is derived. That's what they say. But some people say, what is happiness? It is biological, it is chemical oriented, it is hormone oriented, it is all illusion. It is just an attraction of physical body. When body and body is joining because of sex cells, there is no problem at all. He doesn't do anything. But body and body joining with mind and mind joining, both the mind becomes one. That's the problem. When both the mind becomes one, what happens? Both of them are not alive. Both of them are ready to give their life to each other. In the sense, both of them are dead. Both of their ego is gone. So they become what? Free birds. Others say, he has fallen in love. What is that? Fallen in love means what? Head is down. Who says this fallen in love? The fellow who is highly intellectual, highly scientific oriented, always money oriented, always growth oriented. He doesn't know what is it. He thinks everything is just for what? Everything are facts and figures. If sun is there, if you say to a fellow intellectual fellow, God is there, he will be asking, what is God? What is the formula? Can you prove it? Anything which cannot be proven, only you can believe, you can have trust, right, sir? So love, what is love? Both are joining together only for sex and this, that fellow says. He doesn't know the value. He doesn't know about anything. We have to prove him. He will ask, okay, what can the love bring to you? Happiness. Can you prove what happiness can? Lovers cannot prove the happiness. See, when two lovers are there, they will start talking baby talks. What do you mean by baby talks? Have you seen? My darling, my sweetheart, Chellame, and all those things of honey. They will be talking very softly. Why do they talk softly? The first experience of mother's love, he or she is trying to give to the other lover. As they are talking to each other, slowly there will be a time they will be silent. Only lovers can be silent, mind you. If true lovers are there, both are sitting together, mind is same. So they are unable to talk. They keep on talking means love, it doesn't mean that, it is not that they are in love, that's one other thing. Lovers won't speak often, that's one problem. If they are true lovers, they won't speak, because both their mind are same. There is no controversies, no issues to speak. They are calm and quiet. See, many husband and wife nowadays, they keep talking. Why? Both have the differences. You go in a train, a lot of passengers are sitting, people are sitting, co-passengers. You are sitting there, You have to talk something, isn't it? Otherwise, you are becoming a cell of yourself. He becomes a barrier, or he becomes a cell of his own. Then what happens? Suddenly there will be a clash. So you are trying to bridge a gap between you and your co-passenger by talking, how are you, what are you, where are you from? So you are trying to build a communication. Only with strangers you can keep communicating, but lovers, they keep quiet. They are very what? Their hearts speak, their minds speak. So here baby talk. This baby talk, you can talk only with your beloved ones, all these darlings, all these sweethearts, all these honeys, all these babies. So it happens only when you are in love with somebody. So what do you mean by love? You are ready to give your life. Ready to give your life means what? You forget yourself. Only when you are ready to give life for someone, you can live with that some person, right? Because he dies means what? He forgets his ego. He forgets himself. Everything is for her. Everything is for him. So devotion frees. They say love and devotion is a slave. No. Love and devotion becomes a freedom. I am living in a world where I have certain things, like I am a scholar, I am working, I am earning, I have a car, I am having a bungalow. So I think like that. But when I fall in love, in the sense what? I started liking somebody. That girl or boy comes inside my so-called wall, inside. Then once that person comes inside my prison, what happens? That walls get crashed. Then what happens? There comes a freedom. So I and she, or she and I, go in the sky of freedom. So in devotion and in love, the freedom you get, the bondage is released, the purpose of life is served. This is for what type of persons? It is for heart-oriented persons. Intellectual-oriented persons are nothing like that. In European countries, Eastern countries, they are highly 99% they are intellectual-oriented. But in a country like India or Pakistan or China, they are heart-oriented persons. That's why you find caste, religion. In India, how many religions have come? Can you tell me? Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, totally major, not Christianity, totally majority, only 8 religions are there. Out of 8 religions, 4 religions have come from India alone. It is a heart-oriented persons living here. That's why you find joint family system, caste, thousands of caste. People are so much attached for religion, so much attached for language, so much attached for the joint family system. So, my dear friends, what we are talking here is love. For all the madness, it is the, madness means, have you been to a mental hospital? In a mental hospital, he will be speaking to himself. Can you see them? He will be speaking only to him. Have you seen the mentals always? Talk to him. So when he keeps on speaking to himself, what does it mean? He is always in his self. He is always there. But in love and devotion, this speaking to yourself is gone. Always your thought is on others. So the madness is not there in devotion. Madness is not there in love. So the madness is a disease, ego is a disease, and the love and devotion is the cure for disease. So coming to the point, how do you love? How do you love? Only if you are a heart-oriented person you can love. What is love? As I have told you, love is something where other person is there, not you. He or she may be a precious diamond for you. For me, it may be a black stone. Right? He, the Lord Perumal or Lord Krishna, may be something life for you. For me, it is just a stone. For you, Nityananda and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa may be greatest gods. For me, that fellow is one other fool, one other person, just a human being. So, a devotion may be on a person, on a idol, on a boy or a girl, opposite sex. Nowadays, it is also changing. You find gay sex, same. Man can love a man, a boy, girl can love a girl. All these gay oriented things are going on. Okay. Now, Meera's love we have seen. So, Meera's love is considered to be superior than whose? Radha's love, because Meera loves a person Krishna. Krishna is not in a physical form. Radha loved Krishna. Radha is the wife of Krishna. Okay. After the death of Krishna, after nearly 500 years, Meera loves Krishna. Meera is not in a shape. Sorry, Krishna was not in a shape. No physical identity is there. Still she loved him madly. So, the love of Meera is much superior than the love of Radha. Even Radha would have felt jealous about the love which Meera has shown towards her husband. So, this is something which for heart oriented person. So, my dear friends, what we have seen is the love, the devotion, all those things, right, sir? Could you tell me something about what you have understood, sir? Could you tell me, take the mic, could you tell me what you have understood? Please, short and sweet, yeah. Yes.
We are going to love somebody or something. We can't able to speak only silent this occurred.
Okay, fine. Okay.